No, it was over there. Huh? Listen. I'm gonna get back with you in a minute. Hold on. I don't be knowing how many essentials I be taking this shit, man. I'm over here killing myself, man. God damn. Shit. This is rough. Oh, what's up, y'all? Shit. Hey, listen. Ah, man, I'm all congested here. Yep. Listen. Oh, boy, listen. Listen, the only way you're going to get out of this thing and mend where you need to be back up, if those that, just remember, those that's connected to you, they're not around you. You see, they're not around you. You see, the only people knowing what they are saying are those that's close to you. You see, not the ones that's connected, those that's close to you. You see, so, but they won't tell you anything about what needs to be said. You see, they'll mention it to you, but they won't tell you what the person said. You see, and just imagine them. Now, mind you, you're a human being, but just imagine they putting this stuff in your subconscious. They putting this stuff in your head. You see, there's unfavorable things saying about you from your root, and they won't say nothing to you about it. They know. So since they know, they're going to grow and they're going to teach their children or teach those that's close to them about who you are. Yeah, they're gonna teach the youngsters about who you are. Look, but where are they getting their information from? Can you see that, Curse? Where are they getting their information from? You see? How could they say something and you ain't been around them in over 20, 30 years? So where are they getting their information from? So that means you was a youngster. You was hella young. You see what I'm saying? You was hella young. You had you know, and then you started developing, right? You started developing in your world. You see, you said you was married, you got married and all this other type of stuff. You see, you ain't had nobody to show you the proper way, so you had to go step by step, you know, in increments and learning how to be a father, learn how to be a man. You was doing the shit raw. You see, yeah, you was doing it raw. You see, you didn't have nobody to lead you and guide you in a certain way. No, you have to make your motherfucking mistakes. You had to develop from them and things, you see. And that development, your children would have saw that shit. They would have saw you in your development, you see. But you not knowing what a household is and how to build a house internally first, you see, because it's more than just paying bills. It's more than just getting a job. It's more than that, you see. And you learning that it's like you knew automatically inside that this learning is from the inside. It's a development. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Oh, yeah, I'm back. Oh, man, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, what I was trying to say is, you don't, listen, you haven't been around people. You ain't been around nobody, you see. You ain't been around nobody, you see. and they're gonna try to curse you. They're gonna try to hit you with all type of things in the world. You see, but they gotta wait on the triggers. You see, they gotta wait on the triggers because can you imagine people sitting back and they ready? Just imagine, just look at the children because to see listen, the children's faces. They're gonna tell you what was told to them. You think I'm bullshitting? The children is going to tell on the parents on what they said about you. Man, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be in their expressions. It's going to be in their face. You see? I mean, it's so damn sad. It's so devastating. You see? And no one understands what's going on. You see, no one understands what's going on. Your shit is so precise and so simple that they be looking at these definitions in psychology and shit and trying to find out who you are. And trying to find out the things you do, and they try to give you a name for these things. Listen, I'm trying to tell you something. They be trying to give you names and shit, and none of that shit fit. None of it fit because when they get around you, what they supposed to see? They supposed to see all these definitions that that they didn't study in these books or on social media and shit. And then when they get around you, homie, look, they ain't gonna say that shit. And then they gonna say you was faking. They gonna see you was faking. You see? And your thing is, and you will tell them, let them know that you let them in to your world because of what you believed was a part of you. And you let them into your world. You let them into your world to see or to show you who they are. You see, if you would never let them into your world, you would never have known. You see, you would never have known. You don't know none of your nieces and nephews. None of them. Well, a few, but it's like, but shit, the other ones, you don't know nothing. No. Whatever they know about you, it didn't come from you. It came from them. You see, and how they feel about you. You see? And you got to deal with that shit. You're going to have to deal with that shit. But when it comes to your own, oh my God. Listen. It's so goddamn diabolical. It's so damn diabolical. They knowing some things that can set you free, nigga. They can set you free. But they won't open their mouth. You know why? Because they worrying about your feelings, nigga. They worrying about how you gonna feel. You understand? They worrying about your feelings, so they ain't gonna tell you. They gonna hold it in. They gonna let it rot in their motherfucking guts. They gonna die with this shit. They probably die with it. You see, because your own ain't gonna say shit to you. They just gonna ignore you. They ain't gonna fuck with you. Because of what was told. You see, because of what was told. You see, that day when you saw your ex-wife and with your daughter, remember, and they were going over to your mother's house, but they had to bypass you first. They had to drive past your shit first. You see. There's a reason why they didn't stop at your house, but went to your mother's house. You don't go visit your mother. There's a reason why. You don't hate your mom. You don't dislike your mom. You love her. You see, but you didn't have nothing coming back. You see, you didn't have nothing coming back. You see? Listen to what I'm saying. And so when your daughter is there, just imagine what was told to her. Everything, your dad, everything that she felt about her dad, her husband, she was saying that that's your father. That's your father. Listen. Listen, whatever they were saying, whatever they may have said about you while you were over there, you see, that's what they were saying about, that's what she was saying about her husband. You see, but she put your name on it. She put your father's name on it. You see. Can you imagine that type of shit? Just imagine that for a second. You see, just imagine that. Listen. Something is wrong with you. You're crazy. They saying these things. They using these words. You see, who want to visit you? Who want to, and you're going to go visit. You're going to go visit where? Where you going to go? Who you going to visit? They ain't going to open the door for you. You remember this shit when you was a kid. When your uncle used to come to the house. And you were told don't open the motherfucking door. You see, that's you, nigga. You see, that's you. It's the same damn thing. It's the curse. It's the root. But listen, you tell them, listen, I'm here to crack this shit, to break this shit. You see, to dissolve it. I'm here. I studied for over 40 motherfucking years in the darkness. You see, give that shit to me. Why are you holding that shit and trying to give it to your children? You see, they don't want to let it go. They want to hold on to that filthy, diabolical ass root. You see, they just don't want to let it go. And listen, and you talking like this, it just bleeds in their guts. You see, it bleeds in their guts. You see, and it's horrible. It's horrible. You see, it's horrible, and the only thing they got to do is just talk. It's just talk and let this motherfucker do his work. You see, and let him do his work. You see? But they won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. And those that's connected to you, shit, they communicate with all the other generations. They communicate. You see? And listen, and they see in their dads and shit. You see? But you don't. Y'all don't. Nigga. You see? You ask one of them to come here. They ain't gonna come near you. Who are you? You see, they ain't gonna come near you. You know? Because they probably think you don't approve of them. You see, where did that come from? It didn't come from me. You see, it sure the fuck didn't come from me. Only thing they got to do, see, I be looking for my motherfucking self. And what came from me, I be looking for myself in certain ways. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, well, goddamn. Just knock on the nigga door. Say boo to the motherfucker and see what he do. That nigga ain't gonna pretend like he ain't home. He ain't gonna do that shit. You see, he ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that. You see, unless he saw somebody that followed you, and you see, because that's what he do. He watches himself. He pays attention to his world. Now, you see, at first he didn't. You see, but he had to grow in that shit. You see, all these things was birthed or developed in the dark because there was no light. There was no light. And this is where he learned how to illuminate. He learned that all these things that went on in his life flared up in the motherfucking darkness. And he saw all these goddamn jewels. And he got a whole motherfucking field of darkness that he can go up in and just illuminate everything. And ain't nothing there. Only thing he got to do is start creating shit. Putting his inhabitants all around. You see, only thing he got to do is just start creating shit. You see, start creating shit because he's the light. You see, he illuminated all that type shit. You see, that's why he don't understand why do you want to stay in darkness? You see, and I'm just believing that my bloodline have what I have. They got to have what maybe they don't have it. You see, I don't know. You see, I was just one of the few that wasn't afraid. You see, I didn't have nothing else. So I'm like, well, hell, they saying this, they saying that. I'm going to see what that shit feels like. I'm gonna go in. You see, I'm going to do something. I'm going to fuck my own self up and see, and just to see something. I'm going to hurt myself. You see, I'm going to crucify myself. That's what I'm going to do and see if that'll work. You see. In a minute.